Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another not so late night edition of the Missing Wolves post-game podcast live stream thing. I'm your host, Andrew Dukowitz from ZoneCoverage, and today we got Benny Hughes from Canis Hoopus joining the show, a seatmate of mine a couple times last year. Benny, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. Andrew. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. This is super cool. I've gotten to tune in a few times and had a good time, so I'm just happy to be a part of it now. So
I appreciate it. I mean, the goal of this whole thing that I'm trying to do here is basically like, let's do a Twitch stream, but basketball, where chat kind of decides where the show goes and we're just having fun, because I will watch people play video games on Twitch for like 6 straight hours instead of buying the game myself.
Yep.
So it's how do we get that into sports media where people will watch, feel engaged, communal, like all of that stuff. So thank you for tuning in, but also thank you for joining, because I do like you do good social media work.
Thank you. I try, every once in a while when I can bear it. I will say I've been on a bit of a hiatus because I've had to take some breaks. I think we all have. So
yeah, too much social media is bad. No social media has you thinking that Anthony Edwards, alleged burner, tweeting out the number 17 was in reference to Ja and not Laravia. So you got to have a delicate balance of some online, some offline. But Benny, Wolves got another win tonight, just kind of routed the Dallas Mavericks. And the thing that jumped off the page just for me, one, Dante was like a plus 38 and 20, or plus 25 and 30, plus 25 in plus 35 in 26 minutes. Numbers are hard. I mean, he was excellent, but this is probably the best Naz Reid game of the season. I mean, what was your thoughts on Naz tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was just on fire, obviously, from the second he came in. I was watching the post-game broadcast, which I'm guessing you didn't get to as you were talking to all the players and the coach, but he had 10 points in his first 4 minutes off the bench. And, like, that's the punch that you need from him, right? Like, that's exactly what you're looking for. 6th man of the year, obviously, 2 years ago. Offensive engine. He can get hot in a hurry, and he did. I love the little, Cooper flag, welcome to the league. Let me back you down. Let me give you a little shoulder, a little baby hook. Loving that. I was just thinking about this of like Naz is like the perfect mix of like an old head and a new fan, like combined in one. He's got the back to the basket game, but he's also got the flash jelly fam, obviously. But he was incredible tonight. What do you have? 22 and 10, 22 and 11, I think.
22 and 12.
23 and 12.
There
you go.
23 and 12. He was excellent. 9 of 14 shooting, hit, 3 threes. I mean, this is the Naz Reid that you go back and sign in the offseason 100 times out of 100. I mean, he's now strung together, 2.5, 3 pretty darn good games. So maybe it's just, he had about the worst offseason imaginable, but maybe it is just getting back into the swing of normal life and being a professional athlete. And hopefully he's there now.
No, absolutely. I mean, I can't even begin to fathom what that must feel like to go through, obviously. And I don't think not many of us can. But did you see his sweatband tonight? Did you see that at all?
Did see. Okay. I did see his sweatband. I'm hoping that's something that, continues, because he does, I think a big thing for him, and he spoke about it right after, the murder happened, is just like, his sister who passed away, like, has a name, has like a life. It's not just professional athlete sister dies. And like, it is in one of the like worst ways like imaginable. Like, you never expect your older sister to be in a domestic violence, like killing. I mean, I shout out to Naz just for how he's been able to process that and still be able to like play basketball at any level. On a much more happy note, Naz told us in the locker room tonight he is dropping his own merch very soon. He was showing off a beanie, a hoodie, and sweatpants that all have the 2 words logo on it. Awesome. So I don't know how that'll work for Ryan Eichten, who hosts the 2 Words Wolves pod, but Naz is going to have merch, and I imagine those are going to sell out immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's super cool. Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that and definitely tell the friends and the family about that because I'm sure everybody will want some of that. But I hope Ryan doesn't get a cease and desist for that or anything like that, and the patent or anything like that, because that would not be good.
My hope is that, since like Naz has talked to Ryan, that maybe
Yep.
there's a workout that they can have there. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I was pretty psyched for it. I was like, how does he not have merch already? Like
Right.
that guy should have merch.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
coming soon, 2 words. It was all black and white from what I could see, but yeah, excited for that. Hughes jumps in the chat here over on YouTube. We'll get to this one right away because I'm not there yet. But Benny, is Jaden McDaniels the top 3 Wolf of all time?
I mean, he's got to be close, right? And that is my older brother, I will tell you. So
Oh,
just so
okay.
you know, so just so you're aware, and he is a very big Jaden McDaniels fan. But man,
Aren't we all?
yeah,
Did
I
he
mean, how can
win
you not?
the Trees jersey from Allison that she pulled receipts? I don't know if
I
you saw that, but Jaden's girlfriend Allison did
think
a
I did.
Twitter giveaway of a Wolves jersey, and she was like, "Whoever can send me a screenshot of the earliest tweet of them being on Jaden McDaniels." So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, I mean, I think I just saw like Dane tweeted out tonight, right? He's number 1 in the NBA, all of the NBA in 3-point percentage now at 52. Like that's insane. Like you'd have told anyone that when he started his career, obviously, but even just the last couple of years that he could reach that mark is just like unreal and just a huge uptick for the Wolves offense having that bona fide third option. I mean, it feels good to watch the Wolves offense this year, and that hasn't always been the case in the last couple of years, especially. So, yeah, but he's
what's
just been
wild with Jaden is just like, I think if he shot 38%, everyone would be ecstatic. Like
yeah.
I would be sitting here going like, where's Jaden's ceiling as a 38% 3-point shooter?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a sample size now. Like it's not like we're talking about 2 or 3 games. He's done this for a month and a half. Like this might just be Jaden. He might just be a good 3-point shooter now.
And just not only catch and shoot either. Like you've seen some of them where he's like guys are going under screens, he's taking one dribble and just pulling it, and he's knocking it down. And it's just like the confidence level is right there. I know that Jim Pete has been saying on the pod or on the broadcast too. It's just like one of the things that's changed is like if he misses one, he's taking the next one with the same level of confidence, with the same mechanics. Because sometimes it was like a little bit of like I'm going to try to will it in after I've missed 3 in a row, 3 corner threes. And obviously, just kind of going into the whole ecosystem of the Wolves offense, like he's getting the looks, he's getting plays ran for him now. He's been a better rhythm than he has been before. So obviously, that all contributes to it. But also, just like props to him for doing that. Going out and actually making those shots and shooting with confidence. That's half the battle, right?
It does make me wonder like how much the slow starts were just affecting him for an entire season. Like he came on at the end of last season. The year before, that was the handbrake season, so we didn't get to see him in the playoffs. The year before that, I don't remember him being particularly like awesome towards the end of the season, but like, I mean, he was objectively like pretty bad offensively to start last season, which some of that is, you got 2 new guys in your top 8. You're trying to figure out like where you're supposed to be in the spacing, but like, I don't know. I truly don't see this dropping off much. Like, I don't think he's going to shoot 55% and set a new 3-point percentage record, but like, I think he'll finish the season probably shooting like 40, 44 now, which is, that's good. Like that is like a very good percentage of threes on a guy that shoots at volume. The other thing is, like you said, he doesn't stop taking them. I mean, last year, the year before, if he missed 1 or 2 of them, it was just, all right, well, Jaden's just kind of out there now. Like he's not going to really look to get the ball. This year, he's just so aggressive in trying to get the ball and like make people know he's open that, I mean, I'm not willing to say he's a top 3 Wolf all time. I think he's like, without going through the whole list, I'd say he's probably between like 8 and 12 though.
Yeah. I mean, when you're winning,
part of that is like kind of sad that like the third guy on a Wolves team is 8th to 12th all time, but like, yeah, he's getting up there quick.
No, No, it's been a joy to watch him just overall this season. Obviously, we knew the defense was there, the point of attack defense, but now you can't just hide guys on him anymore. Like Dallas wasn't able to do that. You got to put an actual defender on him, and you can't just stick whoever your smallest or worst guy is, because he's going to kill that every time.
Well, and that's, with everything this season probably has to be viewed through a lens of like, what's it going to be in the playoffs, right? Where, if it's Jaden and Ant and you're matched up against Oklahoma City, like obviously that team can still probably cover a 40% like Jaden, like they just have the ammunition between Dortz, J-Dub, and Caruso, but not many other teams can handle like what they can put out offensively, which I mean, kind of similar. Like if you had told me a Rudy Gobert team would be a top 3 offense and then it doesn't look like it's going to drop off, I would be shocked last year.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. And like that uptick can like make up for a lot of like, obviously the defense hasn't caught up quite yet. Obviously it's getting better. Need to see it against better teams. Of course, that's always the caveat, especially this early in the year, but like you got to play who's in front of you. And if you're scoring at that rate consistently, and just like the process is just so much better. I mean, it's like night and day. Yeah. It's like what Chris Finch has envisioned since he got here, right? Like he's always talked about ball and body movement. Like we got to move the ball. We got to cut. We got to do all these little things. And finally it's like, okay, I see the vision now, like we don't have to call plays all the time, because obviously that puts a cap on it. But yeah, it does seem repeatable, and it does seem like I would be shocked as well if they dropped out.
It's always funny because how Chris Finch talks is very similar to like Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr. Like they want this beautiful game, ball movement, like 4 guys scoring 10 to 20 points. And like, it's always been a pipe dream here until this season. And Professor brings up in the chat here of just replacing Mike with Dante in the starting lineup. Like, I don't know. I think that honestly has quite a bit to do with it. I mean, I still think Mike has a role on this team. I still think the 12 to 15 minutes he gets is probably equivalent to one of the best backup point guards in basketball right now. But like this starting 5 doesn't really have a point guard, and Dante is the perfect guy to throw in there without a point guard. Wouldn't you say so?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I am the biggest Dante DiVincenzo fan you will find personally. So I gotta rep my ginger bearded friend as well. So anytime I see him, that's my guy. And just like the spacing he provides. I remember like in years past you talked about like, or like we've heard the thing of like being guarded like a shooter or being not guarded like a shooter. Like Jaden was not guarded like he could shoot the basketball, even when he had that one year where he was like at 38, which was a couple years ago. Dante's guarded like he's a shooter, no matter if he's 1 of 9 or if he's 7 of 9, right? And just the spacing that provides, like he's able to sit there at 28 feet and still be a threat. And just like they're not able to bring that gap help on Ant, especially, like obviously he's going to get double teamed a lot, but like anything that you can do to relieve some of that, and he does that like to a T. And again, no matter if he's making shots or not, he's got that. So that's really awesome. So
I talked to him at practice today and just kind of asked him, like Jaden's offense and how they're playing in transition. Like, has that made it any easier for you as a shooter? And he's like, not really. Like everyone still guards me from the second I step over half court. He's like, what it has done is it opens up everyone else, because now you have Jaden running full speed on a fast break. They're like, oh crap, we got to guard Dante. And then Julius or Rudy or Naz, or I mean, even Jalen Clark was getting some like trailer action today too. Like this offense is just beautiful to watch, which again is wild to say that on a team that employs Rudy Gobert, who for his entire career, it's been kind of the thing of like, can Rudy, like, how can you have a successful offense with him? Well, it turns out you just need like really, really, really good ISO scorers around him. Your brother here asks thoughts about the Terrence Shannon Jr. injury, where he slots in when it all comes back. I'll just be honest. Like I kind of under the impression that maybe he was dealing with something even before he went out with the calf stuff. I mean, he wasn't like able to turn very well, which I kind of joked about on this pod a couple times of just like, well, he tries really hard and he looks like a bull in the china shop when he's playing on defense. But now I'm kind of thinking like maybe he was dealing with like a foot or calf thing that just got more aggravated, and that's why he wasn't moving. Completely a guess on my end. That might be biased because I like TJ, but I mean, where do you think he does slot in when all of this is said and done?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess just like based on what you just said, like, I mean, for a guy that like he's got the NBA first step, right? Like he's got that pop, that burst to the rim. If you're dealing with anything like that and you're even like slightly hindered and like that's your thing, that's tough, right? Like it just exactly what you're talking about. As in terms of where he slots in, I mean, I'm just thinking about like the bench as a whole, right? Like obviously Naz is coming on, Mike's got his role, Jalen Clark again plus 15 tonight, I think, and he's just like putting D'Lo in jail. Like that dude made that guy's night hell.
Or
And
D'Lo.
Everybody. Yeah, I know.
How the mighty have fallen. Like, man, garbage time
cool.
with Jalen Clark locking you up, and then Bones.
Yeah, and for Dallas, you know, so like, yeah, that is a dark place maybe. So don't want to breach that one. So obviously, like those guys, I mean, they need to have a role, but like they do need some offensive pop outside of Naz off the bench. That is the one thing about switching Mike and Dante, right? Like Mike, obviously he's still shooting what 45% from three or something like that, but you're not really looking for him to come in and score 8 points off the bench. I think TJ can do that. And so there is a place for that of like, hey, maybe Naz is having the best game or even just one of the starters is having the best game. We can throw him out there with one other of like the prime offensive guys or one or two of them. And he can still be that like third option, or he can come out and just go give you a burst on the offensive end, just in case, like, again, if Naz isn't having a great game off the bench, then you can turn to somebody else that has that pop, has that burst. So
I completely agree with you. I think like when TJ is healthy, it's still probably 12 to 15 for Mike. Like, I think that's just a good role for him now, especially like, I mean, he just can't do 30 minutes consistently anymore. Like at some point, like father time to, I mean, look at Chris Paul. He's getting DNPs right now. Like at some point it's just gone. And I don't think you want it to get like waste whatever he has left in the tank during the regular season by playing him 30 minutes. So like 12 to 15 for Mike. I think Jalen has won the coach's trust. Like I think Chris Finch wanted to play him more last year even. So I think Jalen's probably sitting at that 12 to 15 too. Naz is going to get his close to 25, 30. And then it's probably TJ getting the rest, which that might be a night where he gets 6 minutes. That might be a night where he gets 15, but I think he's probably the next guy in line, which that brings us to the Rob Dillingham of it all, which we will get to. But first, I'm going to run a quick ad break, and then we'll talk some Rob.
Awesome.
Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. .com hit over wins again. We're on like a streak here without that ad getting cut off. So whatever StreamYard did after they got rid of all of the pumpkins for Halloween's, like wonderful. Brian was reading our minds, thoughts on Rob Kinney's stick. Benny, I'm just going to ask you, like, what were your thoughts on Rob? I think it was another pretty tough game for him.
Yeah, I think he was a minus 17 in a game you won by what, 24. So that is tough, obviously. I'll start with the positive. I do like the scrappiness on defense. Like if you're going to be undersized like that, make something happen, right? Like get a steal. I mean, he ripped Jokic the other night. He had another steal tonight. those were kind of the good parts. Just the rough parts is like, it just seems like he's struggling to find his spots, especially like you drafted him as this microwave scorer, right? And it's obviously been a lot of catch and shoot threes. He's been trying to get to the rim, but I mean, he had like off the steal, he had a fast break layup and he got blocked by Brandon Williams, who I don't think is that much taller than him. It's just like, it's been a little tough. It has been, and I will give him as much grace. I mean, watching the Vikings yesterday, we're talking about JJ McCarthy as a young quarterback and how like 5 starts he needs time. I'm more apt to take that approach with Rob Dillingham of like more of a long term thing. But yeah, it has been rough so far. There's no really way to spin that. But yeah, that's kind of what I would go for at least initially. So
yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, last year, I think there was a really big groundswell of like Rob needs minutes to prove himself. Like, why are people not giving him minutes? What's going on with this? And I think this season we're seeing a lot of why they didn't give him minutes, because presumably after staying in Minneapolis, being one of the guys in Summer League, getting good run in training camp, like presumably he has gotten better since the end of last season. And it still looks really tough at times. I mean, there was even like open threes that I think anyone else on this roster would have ripped, but he, you know, pumps and drives, and then he does a lot of jump passes, which Jonah Maves, if you're in here, like writer for Zone Coverage, that I'm pretty sure has a running tally of every jump pass he's made. Mm-hmm. Like, that's tough. And those are the things that it's like, you need playing time to work through them. But also this team is hoping to be a playoff contender, like going for a championship. So it's how much can you give Rob leash to make mistakes? It's also, is he learning from those mistakes, which, I mean, he's doing the same type of turnovers as he did in preseason and summer league and last season and college. And at some point it's just hard to keep making excuses. I mean, I will say kind of what I always say on Rob, like, really good young man. Like, he's really interesting to talk to. He's super polite. He's a hard worker. He seems like he gets it. Like, he's willing to be like vulnerable about how like tough things are. All those things are like, love that about him. So like, I'm like really hoping he succeeds, if not here, somewhere else. But like it is, I mean, when TJ comes back, I don't think he has a rotation spot. Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the tough part right now, especially for a team trying to win right now and showing that they can, you know, like obviously that's happened the last 2 years where it's like it's a complex, because you're like, well, he needs minutes in order to work these kinks out, but also it's hard to give him minutes when you're in a winning situation on a winning team. And yeah, I mean, it's got to be a struggle for him as well. I'm sure, like through high school, his 1 year in college, like he had the ball in his hands all the time. And now they're asking him, you know, like, hey, we got Ant, you got to take these catch and shoot shots. So, I mean, he was I think he was 40-ish% in Kentucky, but like, it's different, right? Like, you're more in the rhythm of the game. You have the ball. Obviously, they make an effort, I think, when he's in there to have him bring it up and try to initiate a lot of offense, because obviously they know that's what they drafted him for and what his thing is. But it's still got to be tough. And just like a quick thing just about the shot, just in terms of like his size, it almost feels like he uses his whole body to shoot, right?
Yeah.
And that is very, very tough to keep it repeatable when you're using every part of your body to shoot. Like, he's got the high jump, he's got like the whole arm fling. It's like, obviously, I think he's a good shooter, and I would believe that. I mean, you watch him shoot every day. I'm sure he barely misses, as most of these NBA guys do. But I do trust the shot, but it's still, sometimes it's like, that's tough. That's tough to make it repeatable when you're using your whole body, because one little tiny thing throws it off, and then it's tough just to make that shot. So,
I mean, the perfect comparison on the other side is Klay Thompson. Like, whether he is whipping off a screen, whether he's shooting a floater, whether he's gunning it from a logo, like his form, his release, his hands are always in the exact same spot every single time, no matter what. And I know that's what they've been working on with Rob. Like, Chris Finch was pretty candid about it at the end of last season, of like, we are really trying to get it so his at least hand placements in the right spot. So if there's like defenders coming from different ways, like he can at least be consistent that way. But it's been really inconclusive because, like you said, he shoots with his entire body. Like his feet go 3 feet in front of him when he shoots it. And that's, I mean, you mentioned like being a smaller guy. Like that's tough when you're a smaller guy because then you're losing that space that you might have gotten from a defender. So, I mean, it's tough. I guess I don't know what his future is with this team. I would assume, I kind of joked on one of the streams of just like if he got traded to like Brooklyn or if he got traded to Phoenix, like he'd probably put up numbers given the opportunity, but I just don't know how many games they would win, which, like you said, that's the conundrum. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did get to see some of the other more bench players, which first I'm going to say, like, let's tone it down on the Joe Ingles applause when he gets the ball every single time. He is like a very accomplished 20-year professional athlete that has like been to the Western Conference Finals multiple times and like borderline all-star caliber player. Like he's not Luka Garza. So like maybe just a little less cheering when he touches the ball would be nice. But I thought there was some really good like Lenny and Johan minutes. What did you think of kind of the deep bench guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I honestly think like the Joe Ingles to Johan Berenger connection, that's a real thing. Like I
asked Rudy about it after the game. He was like, yeah, it's a flashback.
Yeah, I'm sure it has to be, right? Like, I mean, Joe Ingles is probably getting flashbacks himself to like his good old days, right? Like, and how could you not, right? I mean, I'm just gonna talk about Berenger first. I mean, what 6 and 4 in those last 6 minutes and a block. I mean, you just see these like flashes of just pure athleticism and his ability to just go up and get it, right? Obviously, like sometimes the way he moves, you can kind of tell that he still hasn't grown or like gotten comfortable with his body yet. And like, I don't know how you do that at 18 years old and 7'1" or whatever his measurements are. But I mean, the athleticism's there, the screenings there, the going up and getting the lobs are there. Like there is a lot to be excited about for him for sure. So that's definitely like the one that piqued my interest watching the end of that game. And that's kind of fun. You know, that's why you stick around even in the blowouts, right?
It is kind of wild that like Rocco Zerkarski is in Iowa scoring like 25 points, going like 3 of 5 from 3, and Johan's getting like spot minutes. And like with both of them, you can just kind of like at least like squint your eyes and kind of be like, I could see how they could make it. And then we have guys like Rob where it's just like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
Show us something in those minutes. But I agree with you, Johan. I mean, for a guy that's only been playing basketball for 3.5, 4 years, for a guy that just turned 19, he's showing a lot of promise. Again, for Wolves fans, like he's still exceptionally raw. Like he's running like full court dribbling drills at practice. Like he has a ways to go, but like 3-4 years from now, like that might be something on this roster. Pivoting over to Lenny though, because I also feel like Lenny's one of those guys that we haven't really seen anything from like since he's been drafted. I was kind of hoping this year he would get like the Josh Minot role of last year where they'd at least throw him a few minutes, but I'm guessing with the whole Rudy, Julius, Naz post thing they got going, they don't really have a lot of minutes to spare. But I also thought Leonard looked okay, which I was impressed.
He's always an enigma to me, honestly, because like you see the rebounding is there and you can see some of the like DHO, like he kind of at least understands where he's supposed to be on the offensive end. The shot is a little tough looking, I will be honest. There was a few where it was like on angle, he took him in the corner and it was I was like, oh, that's a little tough. But I mean, I know he doesn't necessarily have to do that, right? Like, I mean, if he plays the big position and he's a good screener, he's a good rebounder, like that's fine. Like you can make it, right? But but I don't think he scored, but it looks like a few rebounds, few assists, like just like playing within the flow, it seemed like too. And just like he understands the NBA, I feel like at this point. He's been in it for a few years. Even if he hasn't played that much, he understands what he's supposed to do when he's out there. So that's really cool. So
Godfrey over on YouTube asks who the Wolves have in the G League. Tristan Newton, who was on a two-way last year, the point guard from that championship Huskies team, is killing it right now in the G League. He's averaging like 30 a game.
I was
Like,
gonna say, I think he had 34 the other night. I think I saw maybe.
he is like, that's an NBA player. I don't know how he isn't on a roster someplace. My gut tells me he actually really likes being on this Wolves staff where you have like Pablo, Mike, like Chris Finch is a former point guard. Like, that's just me speculating because like I'd be willing to wager he got offers from. I mean, there is no reason he's not on the Nets right now unless he was like, no, I want to be on the Wolves G League team. Amari Bailey, I think, moved on. He's not down there anymore. Rocco Zakarski's down there. CJ Fulton, the Irish guy from Summer League, he's down there. He hasn't been getting a ton of playing time, but all I can say is like Chris Finch has joked a couple times that like they have a pretty good track record of developing undrafted point guards, which I don't know who that is besides Jordan McLaughlin.
Yeah, that's the only one
I know they like them, but those are probably the three notable ones. I don't know unless you know someone else off the top of your head. I don't know who else.
Is Freeman playing? Enrique Freeman? Is he, like I say, I know he's on the two-way, but I think he's maybe been down there a little bit, at least potentially. I'm not sure.
I think he got sent down there this week because he was up on the bench. Before that.
I was like, I thought I saw him, but that would be the only other one that I could think of. I'm trying to think of like if he was still on the end of the bench, but that would be the only other one. But all I know is that I did text all my Wolves group chat friends and said after Zakarski 24 and 12, I was like, well, Tim Connolly did it again. He found Jokic again for us, which is really awesome. So
getting French Giannis and Australian Jokic in the same draft is wild. Like, talk about a hit rate.
Yeah, for real, right? Like, that's crazy. So,
I mean, I joke, but I do think, Johan's going to spend time down there. I don't know when it'll be. He'll probably go down like TJ did last year and get like 4 to 6 games to just start and play 30 minutes. I could see Juzang going down there too and just chewing up some minutes. I mean, he's a capable NBA player, but like at some point you get cold if you're just sitting on the bench for like months on end. I don't think, can they send third-year players down? I don't think they'd be able to send Rob down. I
don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think they'd be able to send Rob down. I honestly though, like between Rocco and Tristan Newton, those are probably the two guys that like, if Mike does end up retiring after this year and Rob doesn't work out, you might see a Tristan Newton back on this roster. Rocco, I think he's interesting. He's like a 7'4", 19-year-old that can shoot threes. Like that's gives you a chance.
Yeah, I know there was like the one thing floating around Twitter, I think, where it was like the first mock draft that came out like end of last season. He was like supposed to be a lottery pick. So, we can at least try to hang on to that. I don't know. Obviously he wasn't. So people probably saw some stuff, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's at least intriguing, especially at that slot. Like how often do those guys like actually do make it? Like, I mean, he has
like
as good
one a year.
Like that's about it. So.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I mean, with Rocco, I got to talk to him quite a bit at Summer League, and it's just like, he's another guy that like before he grew to be like 7 feet tall, he was like an Olympic qualifying swimmer. So like basketball was not his sport. His mom, I think, is like an Olympic swimmer for the national team or something. He's super interesting, but like switched to basketball kind of late in the grand scheme of things. And he's signed to play with the Boomers, who are a professional Australian basketball team who have a bunch of like actual adults on it who are trying to like pay their mortgages. And they're just not going to play an 18-year-old very much on those type of teams. So like he only got like 12 minutes a game, and then he's a 2nd-round pick. So like he could be a diamond in the rough. He could be just a 7'4" guy that's going to be on the team for 2 or 3 years and then, go play internationally. But Fun to talk about, at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, gonna be an awesome random wolf if he ever actually suits up at the end of a game, and you just keep it in the back of your mind for the future.
We have a good track record with Australia, guys. Like Mitch Creek, random wolf I remember he had a wolf tattoo on his calf. Like that was perfect. Godfrey, Tim Duncan was a swimmer. Tim Duncan was a swimmer. It must be kind of frustrating to be like a really elite athlete at a sport, and then it's like you're 7'4", you can't swim anymore, and then have to change. Same with Johan, like you wear size 37 shoes, you can't play soccer anymore, and it's like,
dude, right. Yeah, you gotta pick up a basketball. Good luck dribbling with your hands though this time, all right? So,
and it's not like basketball's like super easy to pick up, but like credit to these guys.
Yeah. Fair enough. Obviously it helps they're 7-footers, but
it does help that they're 7-footers. Not a lot of 5'7" guys like me picking up basketball at 17 and making the NBA.
You know what? At some point it'll happen. All right, I believe. All right.
I lost my belief like the second I stopped growing. So I've come to terms with there wasn't a path. It's just not, should have picked a different sport. Benny, I am going to call it here though. We're at about 36 minutes. Everyone that tuned in, appreciate all of you guys. But Benny, whether you're Dane Moore, John Krasinski, or whether you are me who's hosting this pod, anyone that comes on here, I just want to give the space. Anything you got to promote, where can people find you, any causes you're interested in, whatever you have on your mind, the floor is yours.
Man, causes I had on my mind. I was just gonna do a little self promo, a little shameless self plug. Let's see. Yeah,
just Twitter. Fine.
All right, let's just do that. Yeah. Twitter is the most place that I'm active, at least about the Wolf stuff. So you can find me at my name, but 2 underscores between the first and last. So Benny _Hughes. Check me out on there. Sometimes I tweet, sometimes I don't. Again, it kind of depends on how I'm feeling about Twitter that day. Otherwise, big thing most recently, I just had a piece come out at Canis Hoopus about Jaden's offensive leap, and I'm really happy about how it turned out. Felt like it was going untalked about for too long, at least on our site. So I was like, you know what, I can take that one. Let's do it. So really fun to kind of dive into all of that. Obviously, I had a lot of help from you and all the rest of the guys that were pulling all these stats for me, but just kind of compiled all of that. Talked about some of the stuff that I've been noticing, everything like that. So go check that out. Came out I think last Thursday, I think. So, and I was, he had a pretty decent game tonight and now leads the league in 3-point percentage. So I'm like, this is very topical. So I'm just going to drop that in. So, but yeah, that's all I got pretty much.
Jaden McDaniels leads the NBA in 3-point percent. Like what a world we live in, Benny.
God, maybe 2025 isn't so bad. Maybe we're doing all right.
Just put all of your stock in Jaden right now.
That's all I need. Yeah.
Man, he's nice dude, wholesome, good trash talker, now shooting the best in the NBA from 3. That's all we need, really.
Yeah. Well, one more thing real quick. My favorite thing was when the other night, I remember Wolves are in a zone, Jaden's at the top, ball gets swung to Yusuf Nurkic. Jaden has a chance, he could close out. He sees him about to shoot it, and he just goes, Yusuf Nurkic bricked that shot. So he said, I'm not even worried about it. That dude can take it. And that made me laugh, and it still does. So love that.
One of the guys on the beat, I'm not going to say who because they're working on a piece, and I think it's going to be an awesome piece, but they have been compiling all of the Jaden McDaniels off-ball like antics from the entire season, the like smoking the blunt and putting it out when Ant's shooting threes, the like all of the weird faces. He's going to do a feature on just the Jaden that we are seeing this year, because I don't know if I just didn't notice it in years past, but like he is on like an all-time body language heater right now.
Generational run right now for sure. I definitely feel like I've seen some pictures in years past, but yeah, this year for sure there's been more than a few. So
maybe he just needed confidence. That's all it was. Now we're getting true Jaden McDaniels. He's in his Charmeleon evolution phase, not quite Charizard, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
All right, we're making Pokemon references. That means it's time. We'll be back on what games next? The Wizards on Wednesday. Mitch Hansen from Canis Hoopus and Hitting the Hardwood will be joining me then. Go follow Benny. He's a delightful follow. And we will catch you all after Wednesday's game.